soldier. Oh, I'm a no limit soldier. Happy, 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 happy Sunday morning. Oh, yeah, it's what is it? Let me see. 3 o'clock. Oh, I was so exhausted from yesterday. Fell asleep. But thankful, the good Lord who is the head of my life. It is 3:29 here. 3:29 a.m. in the city of Joliet, Illinois. And did y'all watch that Versus? Oh, that was nice. It was nice. Went down memory lane with my son because he was a no limit soldier. I didn't know nothing about no Master P, but you know, it was um it was a nice Versus, and I remember a lot of those songs. Hold on, beautiful people. Hold on. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Hold on, everybody. Okay. I'm a no limit soldier. But anyway, ooh, that Versus battle was nice. I tried to back it up, which I can't do nothing. I'm 63, bone joints, but I tried. I was Mr. Ice Cream Man. Well, I'm a no limit soldier. I'm about it, and all of that. And it was a nice, nice battle. Where was Lil Wayne? Where was Little Wayne? Where was Lil Wayne? But anyway, we're going to continue on. We'll come back and we'll look at a little bit of footage from the Verses and what I thought was my greatest moments. But anyway, everyone, Chicago Flips Red is a group of women, men that have come together to go against the current administration and the Democratic Party up there in Chicago that has not done anything for the city of Chicago. And they have seen migrants get everything. And basically, migrants, illegal or not illegal, have replaced black people in Chicago. Lord, I hope the Bible is right. If the last shall be first, the first will be last. Because everybody has hijacked our civil rights movement. We steady get pushed aside by other groups. So, Chicago Flips Red is a conservative movement advocating for federal intervention in Chicago's crime problems. They are a group of clergy, residents, Republican, conservative officials who believe that local leadership is not adequately addressing crime, despite alleged official reports showing a decrease in some areas. The group is pushing for measures like the deployment of the National Guard and are advocating for stricter law enforcement and greater accountability from the city's leaders. Movement's core message: Chicago families do not feel safe due to high crime, particularly shootings and carjackings, and believe the local government is minimizing the issue. This group is also advocating because land has allegedly been stolen from Black citizens to pave the way for migrants, illegal, non-illegal. And we're going to take a look at this group, Chicago Flips Red. I don't want to hear from nobody. If you don't live in Chicago, you not down there in the trenches, you cannot speak for Chicago. So, we are going to look at this group of beautiful people. I'm a no living soldier. We're going to take a look at this group, Chicago Flips Red. And again, these are the real citizens of Chicago. I live in Joliet. I'm just a messenger reporting. But again, I believe what the residents tell me, not what the media and not what these public officials is trying to, give a different facade of what's going on in Chicago. Again, I am not with either party. I feel like all politicians are thieves, crooks, liars. I don't think they really care about the American people. I feel like a lot of these Black leaders were handpicked just to fulfill an agenda, and they are not for Black people. And that's my personal opinion. So we're going to look at this group and we're going to find out exactly what they are doing. We're going to hear from some of the people that live in Chicago. Again, if you do not live in Chicago, you do not have a right to talk about these people, how they feel when you are not a resident of Chicago. Your opinion don't matter. Mine really don't matter because I don't live there. But I want the National Guard to be in there. I want the National Guard in there. So we are just, hey, that's my cat, Michelangelo. Those are all of my hats. That's my pink bag. That's my little case I have. Because I was on the go today. I can't wait till this month is over with. This has been a busy month. But I'm glad that I have been able to tell my story of being a 2-time breast cancer survivor. So we are getting ready. Let's see what's the best way. We are getting ready to look at this group, Chicago Flips Red.
Matt, there's a group in Chicago called Chicago Flips Red. And we had the pleasure of meeting some of the members of that group recently at a meeting here in Washington. And we got one of them here today, Danielle Carter Walters. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. So I came along because we had, me and my husband bought a building, and we had, the building came with TIF money and things like that happened during COVID, but somehow we were zoned out for the TIF money, and we could never, when it come down to the neighborhood opportunity grants, we never qualified to get those grants. When it came down to small business loans, we were always denied, even though we did everything right. Great credit, get great financial taxes, showed our taxes, showed our income. So when I saw that, and then we were denied, but I'm seeing illegal alien businesses pop up all around my community, Venezuelan businesses, then I had a problem. So I started going down there, and then we just decided to have a town hall with everybody who was down there and had a gripe with the city, and then this is how Chicago Flips Red formed, because we are tired of seeing the corruption, tired of the citizens not able to achieve anything, and then now we see they're fighting tooth and nail for illegal aliens to get free everything off our tax dollars when we the taxpayer can't get anything. So that's how we started, and that's what you see now. Chicago Flips Red. Fighting corruption. We have conservative values. We want to bring common sense back to Chicago.
So can you tell our viewers about what is being given to the illegal aliens in Chicago? Because sometimes we find people don't believe just how much free stuff is being handed out courtesy of the American taxpayer.
Well, they're getting free housing. They're getting free food, because when you go, I did a video and showed, when you go to one of those in Humboldt Park, where you go get SNAP benefits, you get Medicaid, things like that, you see them, the line is around the corner. Citizens, American citizens can't even get in that line because you have them sitting outside all night to get these benefits. So they're getting SNAP, they're getting free food, they're getting free housing because the government is paying for their rent for 2 years. They're getting free financial aid. They're going to school, allowed to go to school. They're placed all in our public schools. They're getting free lunch. They're getting free supplies. They're getting free Uber rides. We was at one shelter and we showed where they're getting free Uber rides, free transportation, where they have have to go. So it's everything they're getting free off our tax dollars. Now, mind you, we can't get none of this. They're getting Section 8 vouchers where they open up Section 8 only for them. They're getting put in front of people when it came down to the Salvation Army, where people were on the wait list to get their light bill paid, some of their rent paid, where they need furniture. They're citizens, and it's especially done in these cities and states. So they're making sure they're taken care of. While we're the American citizens, we're losing our home. Our taxes, property taxes, steady going up, and we're just left in the cold while they're receiving free everything. So yes, it's very bad.
Danielle, your group has become very visible. Because of the red hats and the red hoodies you guys wear. For those who may not be familiar with your work, we have a short clip here. I believe this is Zoe, a meeting in Chicago, a public meeting, talking to the worst sanctuary mayor in America, Brandon Johnson. Let's take a look at this, and I'd like to get your thoughts.
You also took an oath. All of y'all took an oath. Y'all are straight violating you sit and talk about how Trump is so unconstitutional and how he's going to overturn the government and he's going to do all this. But I've been coming here for 2 years. This is the Democratic Party. This ain't Trump. This ain't Matt Gaetz. We come from the federal level to the state level, to Governor Pritzker, to Kwame Raoul that we cannot find, who's the Attorney General, to you guys fighting for some illegal aliens who haven't put a dime in this country when my mother has a building that the city of Chicago Buildings Department demolished because this disgrace, the alderman over there, 17th Ward David Moore, didn't do his duty as an alderman. This falls on you.
That is great stuff, Danielle. For people outside of Chicago, I think there's a perception that the city is just solid blue. Everyone is in lockstep with these elected officials in Chicago. What has been the reaction to your group? Because there's videos like this all over YouTube of people from your group standing up to Brandon Johnson like this. What has been the reaction on the ground in Chicago?
It's a silent majority. What happens is people are scared to come out because they don't want to argue with people about supporting Trump. They don't want to. A lot of them work for the city. They work for the state.
So, again, that is part of Chicago Flips Red. I am thankful for those people. Those are my type of heroes. They are going against the grain. They're going against what, we've been taught to go with. And that was the Democratic Party, and they did nothing. Nothing. Well, actually, none of them did nothing. The Democrats would give you a few crumbs, but like I say, they all work together. They the bird, And as I look at history, and I tell people, history repeats itself. We're always getting pushed out. We never get what's fully due to us. Everybody has benefited from all of these programs that could have been our reparations. And of course, we'll never get reparations. But it would have been nice, maybe they could have tried to make it right and give some type of reparations and not let black people not pay rent for 2 years. Give me some free housing for 2 years. Free clothes, free food. And by the way, I know for a fact that they even help these people get cars. So I think that if it was me, if I was an illegal immigrant, they call them aliens, things that make you go, But illegal immigrants, non-illegal, I have nothing against the people. I want to make that clear. It's just everything they received. Everybody has received something from this country. They come over here, free education. Oh my goodness. They come over here, they get a free education, and then turn around and snub their nose at people of my skin color. I am proud of Chicago Flips Red. I am proud of that group. I appreciate the fact that they have guts. They're standing up. They're out there. They're going to the city council meetings. And a lot of people that's talking mess about this group, the meetings with them. Why don't you really find out what the real citizens that live in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, they call Chicago the most crookedest city in the country. And it's always been that back from the Al Capone days. The past, 3 or 4 governors have went to prison. You can't make this stuff up. And again, I feel like black people are being replaced by illegals, immigrants, and non-illegal immigrants. A lady I used to co-host with, Lady Alicia, did told us we were getting ready to be replaced. That's why they opened that border. They let them come over. Because black people are waking up to, you can lead a Democratic plantation. We haven't gotten anything all these years. They come up around black people. The local politicians come around black people during election time. They come in like they're for the culture, for the people, and you don't see them. You don't see them after election time. First place they do is they head to the churches. So some of these alleged pastors, fake pastors, crooked pastors that allow these people to come in their church, obviously don't hold these people accountable. I am thankful for a group, Chicago Flip Red, because these are the real true soldiers of Chicago. I commend them, Chicago Flips Red, for going down to City Hall, risking their lives, people humiliating them, talking about them that don't live in the city of Chicago. I commend you, Chicago Flips Red. So, there's nothing that anybody could tell me about the city of Chicago. If you do not live in the city of Chicago, ain't nothing you could tell me. What I'm urging my audience to do, people that's going to listen to the replay, go to Chicago Flips Red, listen to some of their videos, find out what the true residents of Chicago, Illinois, are saying. We know Chicago is allegedly the most corrupt city, and Illinois is the most corrupt state. Okay? But we do know that the media can program us. And so, my advice, hey, young Riaz, how are you? My advice to anybody, if you don't live in Chicago, I suggest you find a person to talk to that actually lives in the city of Chicago, that's out here in the daily trenches. People that are actually walking the streets. People that have been affected by illegal immigrants and non-illegal immigrants coming into the Black community. This is April Showers. Go to the site Chicago Flips Red to learn more about the group and what their goals and what they plan on accomplishing to help residents that live in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. Young Riaz, everybody in the chat, everybody that will watch in the future, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Have a great day. This is April Showers, and I'm out.